Hello everyone, my name is Rini Amanatus Sobiroh, and today I will be presenting my education for the grand final of NUDC 2024 to complete the final test of English debate and critical thinking. The debate I observed is Universitas Surabaya versus Universitas Kristen Indonesia versus Universitas Atmajaya Jakarta versus Universitas Brawijaya. The motion is, this House believes that Indonesia should significantly tax residential properties that are vacant or unoccupied. I watched the entire debate and evaluates its theme based on the British parliamentary format using the education criteria of matter, manner, and method. After carefully analyzing the debate, here is my final ranking of the teams. The first place goes to Universitas Surabaya, who performs as the opening government. The second place is Universitas Kristen Indonesia as the closing government, and the third place goes to Universitas Brawijaya, the closing opposition, and for the fourth place is Universitas Atmajaya Jakarta as the opening opposition. I choose Surabaya as the top team because they presented a very clear, structured, and well-developed case. Their arguments were relevant, logical, and effectively forms the entire debate. They also showed excellent engagement with points of information and provided strategic rebuttals. For Universitas Kristen Indonesia, as the closing government, provided valuable extensions to the debates and introduced new angles. However, at times their argument overlapped with what was already said by the opening government, and they seemed to rush toward the end of their speeches. Then Universitas Brawijaya tried to challenge the government benches with some interesting rebuttals, but their structure was inconsistent and their message was not always clear. Finally, the Universitas Atmajaya Jakarta opened the opposition bench with confidence, but their engagement was limited, and their argument lacked the debate in strength needed to stand out this round. And now I will give feedback to each team individually, starting from Universitas Surabaya as the opening government. In terms of matter, their arguments were well structured and supported by logical reasoning. For manner, the speakers were confident, fluent, and persuasive throughout. Method-wise, they fulfilled their roles very well, managed their time efficiently, and maintained a clear strategy. Two strengths from this team are their strong framing of the motion and their effective rebuttals. As for a suggestion, they could improve by adding more real-world examples to strengthen their claims and slightly slowing down the pace, especially in the conclusion. Then the next is Universitas Kristen Indonesia as the closing government. They brought new insight to the debate and attempt to extend the discussion meaningfully. In terms of matter, they presented a relevant argument with a clear stance. For manner, they were passionate and energetic, though sometimes too fast. In terms of method, they fulfilled their roles well, but occasionally repeated points from the opening government. Two positive from this team are their fresh perspective and strong engagement. However, I suggest that they work on differentiating their content more clearly for the opening government and manage their timing better to avoid rushing important conclusion. Okay, moving to Universitas Brawijaya as the closing oppositions. Their method showed an effort to bring counter perspectives, though some argument lack full development. In terms of manner, the speakers were calm and composed, but needed more variation in tone to maintain engagement. Then, regarding the method, there were some issues in organizing their speech and transition. Two strengths were their consistent stance and attempt to engage with closing government. However, they should improve in organizing their argument more clearly and using more persuasive language to emphasize their rebuttals. And for the last is Universitas Atmajaya Jakarta, who spoke as the opening opposition. They delivered their case with decent structure and clarity. Their measure, however, lacked deeper analysis and stronger engagement with the opening government. For a manner, they showed confidence, but their delivery felt somewhat repetitive. In terms of method, their role was fulfilled but without much strategic development. And two strengths include their clear opening stance and confident speaking style. I suggest they improve by engaging more directly with the core argument of opening government and developing their rebuttals with more analysis and evidence. And to conclude these debates, all teams demonstrate great effort and debating skills. It was an intense and interesting final round. However, I believe that Universitas Surabaya, as the opening government, was the most convincing team in this debate. They had a clearless argumentation, strategic structure, and confidence delivery. That is all for me. Thank you very much for watching my educations, and best of luck for us. Thank you.